Rejection is really hard to deal with. So first step is self-acceptance, to say this really hurts and it's natural and normal that this hurts me. It's not that something's wrong with me. Whether the rejection comes in a career context or a student failing an exam or a person who wants to date and is looking for reciprocation, making yourself wanting someone from someone else is very challenging because we have no control over them. Now, the secret to happiness, they say, is to focus on things you have control over. Because if you focus on things you don't have control over, you just get frustrated. But in sales, for example, you want to make a sale, and yet you don't have control over the other person. So you focus on what you do have control over. And so what do you have control over? The inputs, they say, of what effort you put out. And I know that a lot of sales training already covers this to the extreme of the person phone banking who thinks, oh, every time they get 99 rejections, they're that much closer to getting a yes. But, you know, if you have a flawed product, you may make 500 calls and not get a yes. So it's ever so valuable to first, as I said, accept the negative chemistry, like maybe there's something wrong with my product or my niche or my approach, to use that information to recalibrate. Another thing is if I think my method is good, but I'm just feeling discouraged, have to give myself some short run rewards, because if this reward is far away, for example, if I please my boss, I'll get a big bonus at the end of the year, but I already pleased my boss 3 times and only half the year is over, and I'm like, oh my God, how can I please him anymore or her? So we have to give ourselves short run rewards, and we have to do it in healthy ways. So rather than giving yourself a whole pizza on the day that your boss is on your nerves, to say, I'm going to try a new sales approach and I'm going to have 1 slice of pizza after I try it 3 times. So now I'm excited to try my new approach, even though it feels a little threatening, because I know that I'm getting the piece of pizza. And if I'm going to buy a piece of pizza, I'm going to put the whole thing in the freezer and only defrost 1 slice. And I'm not going to eat the whole pie because I know that I've set my next goal. I'm going to try a different approach and reward myself with a slice of pizza after that. Now, I'm not saying that you need to use food rewards. That was just an example. Hobby time is a great way to reward yourself. And once again, don't save the hobby time only for when you're in a bad mood and something is bad, but save it for, like, I'm excited because I'm trying something and I feel good about myself. I've made this goal, I've reached it, and now I'm going to give myself a little private celebration. And I often explain the way I've done this is when I'm deep into something, but it's sort of a little taxing, I go and watch a movie for 10 minutes. And then I go back to my work and I'm like so excited to do this sort of boring task because I can't wait to get back to 10 more minutes of that movie. And I keep watching the movie in 10-minute segments and I feel like I'm having a great day.